Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cozey, your reigning defending undisputed 2K World Champion. It's that one time of year we sit down, we do a predictions video on WrestleMania. Now, if you're unaware, I am attending all the way from Australia, and by the time you're watching this, I'm probably already in Las Vegas. So I apologize if there's some matches that have been changed or matches that have been added by the time this video comes out. I'm leaving at the time of recording tomorrow, so it's Sunday in Australia. I'm leaving on Monday. This video is probably going to come out on Wednesday or something like that. Anyway, we're going to head over to the WWE.com page. We're going to go from the bottom to the top, and yeah, we're going to sound off from there. So we've got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra for the women's tag titles. I don't have much to say about this match. I think Liv Morgan and Raquel will retain. Simple as that. Don't really have much to say. Moving on, the World Tag Team title match. Man, Big E better have some sort of involvement in this, so you're going to be disappointing a lot of fans, including myself. Now, I don't have a problem with the World Tag title match being on the card, but if you're going to have one tag division or the other, holy shit, it has to be the SmackDown Tag Division with the WWE Tag Team titles. The World Tag Team titles since WrestleMania have been booked incredibly poorly since WrestleMania last year. So Miz and R-Truth had the belts, and then I think, from memory, I think that's when Balor and JD picked them up, and then the War Raiders won them. And it's been very boring. So yeah, Awesome Truth won them at WrestleMania. Finn Balor and JD McDonough won them after that, and then the War Raiders won them in December, and now here we are. They haven't really done much with these belts whatsoever. People were begging for the belts to be split. Personally, back then, I really wanted them to officially merge the belts, because the tag division has always been something that's been lacking, and you know, one set of belts would have been fine. The fact that the World Tag titles are on the card and the WWE Tag titles aren't, holy shit, man. Because the SmackDown division, they've been cooking. You know, they had a match on the Rumble pay-per-view, and they've just been continuously building with all their teams. It's such a deep division. Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Pretty Deadly even. I don't know why I had a pause there. All you got to do is chuck those belts up and have a ladder match or something, and I'm hoping maybe that gets announced after SmackDown next week, but we shall see. Anyway, in terms of the World Tag Team titles, I think having the New Day win is the correct decision, just because the War Raiders have had the belts for a few months and haven't done anything with them. So I'm going to go with the New Day. Maybe a little Big E, he might turn up, and maybe he'll sort of align himself with the New Day again. As a bad guy, possibly. I don't know. I just hope the reason for this match being on the card over the other tag belts is because of Big E. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, Sin City Street Fight. I'm really actually pumped for this one. I think this was one of those matches that a lot of people didn't want to see, and it needed a stipulation. Here we go. Sin City Street Fight. What does that mean? Well, essentially it's just no disqualifications, but you know, they could fight literally everywhere. And I was thinking about it the other day. They could, if they wanted to, have it be like, who remembers Extreme Rules? I want to say 2015. It was Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose at the time. And they had a match and they ended up in the car and pissed off. And they were like, okay, well, let's continue the show. And then they came back later and they were still fighting. You could do something like that here and have them, you know, fight on the strip. I don't know. There's a lot of shit that can go on. So we'll see. As for the winner, I think it's got to be Drew, man. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Damian Priest. You know, I thought putting the briefcase on him was strange. His world title reign was good for what it was, but, you know, it wasn't that entertaining. I think a win here for Drew is important to then, you know, move towards what he should be going for, which is one of the world titles. If, you know, Cena, like, if Cody does beat Cena, which we'll talk about later, then I don't know. But as of, you know, before Cena and Cody was a possibility, I thought Drew was going to be the guy to beat Cody, and I still think he should be. So yeah, anyway, I have Drew McIntyre winning the Sin City Street Fight. Next we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi. pretty good built match, in terms of the long-term storytelling we've had here. I think we're going to have to just say Jade Cargill wins, and that's kind of it. This could be an incredible match, but yeah, I'm just going to say Jade Cargill is winning this one. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. This one's going to be very interesting. Literally anything can happen. I saw a video from Murphs today that had Rey Mysterio out with an injury angle, and El Generico comes back and faces El Grande Americano. Like, there's a lot of cool shit that can happen, and I am pumped. And I think that was a really cool thing from Murphs. So shout out to Murphs if you're watching this. Oh man, the correct decision here is Rey Mysterio because of this whole luchador rivalry that Chad Gable has. But I think I'm going to go with El Grande Americano just because it's his first big match. Come on, man. Alright, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. This one's interesting, man. Like, I don't know what you do with this because it's like LA Knight won his match last year at WrestleMania. He doesn't need another big WrestleMania win. Jacob Fatu, I feel like the inevitable is a Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa feud. Now, whether that kicks off at WrestleMania, that's one thing, or you have them fight over the US title, which would actually bring a lot of value to that title that it desperately needs. So I'm going to say Jacob Fatu. I'm not going to say we're going to get the blow up of the bloodline at WrestleMania. We might get that in the weeks after, and then maybe we kick off a feud at Backlash or later on for the US title. I think that's a great idea. You could even give Solo the US title. God damn. Like, I'm not a huge Solo Sikoa fan, but give that man something. I mean, So I got Jacob Fatu winning the US Championship. And then maybe LA Knight can win the briefcase later this year. Please. The Intercontinental Championship match, Bron Breakker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. I think there's 2 people who can win this match. Maybe 3. Finn Balor isn't one of them, unfortunately. I love Finn Balor, but I think this is going to be a story of him sort of getting kicked out of the bloodline. The Judgment Day. So I don't think it's going to be Finn Balor. There's a lot of routes we can go down here. We've got Dominic, Penta, or Breakker. Penta's an obvious answer because Penta. Breakker because it's his first WrestleMania and he's the future of the business. And Dominic Mysterio because why not? Dominic has really done the most he absolutely can with the hands he's been dealt. He does deserve a big win like this, and I quite honestly think Dominic's going to win this match. I think this match is going to be incredible. All 4 are great performers. And I think it's just going to be that holy shit, man, this match is crazy sort of moment. I'm going to have Dominic Mysterio winning the Intercontinental Championship. Now, what I will mention before we go any further is Randy Orton. Could Randy Orton be in a match? I think he will be in a match. I think it's literally could be fucking anybody at this point. It seemed like Nick Aldis was a possibility. After SmackDown, I don't think so anymore. Solo Sikoa and him just started brawling at the end of SmackDown and disappeared. So Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania is a possibility. That's one I'm not excited for. I think the only way you can really do this properly with Orton still being on the card whilst it not being a silly, rushed, pointless match is, Nick Aldis, or Nick Aldis brings someone back to face Randy Orton. So that could be a Rusev, that could be an Aleister Black, it could be someone from NXT. Like, I don't think you can do Orton versus Solo, so I don't think that's going to be the match. And if it is, holy shit, Triple H, what are we doing? No offense to Solo Sikoa, but that's just a crazy last minute put together match for no real reason. I know Solo helped take out Randy Orton 2 years ago, but 3 years ago nearly. Holy shit. Orton's going to be in a match. I suspect he'll win any of the matches he's in, so I just thought I'd mention that. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. AJ Styles can carry anyone to an incredible match. It doesn't matter how old that guy is. He can go. And I think it goes without saying Logan Paul is one of the best wrestlers that they have right now. I'm sorry. you've just got to speak the facts. So AJ and Logan are really going to tear the house down. I think Logan Paul will win just because it's Logan Paul, you know. He hasn't won a big singles match like this before. I mean, he won last year at WrestleMania, which I think everyone saw happening in the triple threat with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. But part of me wants to say, because AJ Styles has lost all these big matches, this is his time. I don't think a win over Logan Paul does much for AJ Styles, but I think a win over AJ Styles does more for Logan Paul. Of course, Logan Paul is going to be gone for 6 months after WrestleMania, but I think AJ's going to do the work for Logan Paul. I'm going to have Logan Paul winning this match in an incredible Dave Meltzer 8-star classic, of course. The WWE Women's Championship match, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Man, all I'm going to say, the build's been a bit weird, and that's okay. Tiffany Stratton has to win this match, or we are seriously going down a very dangerous hole, because no one likes Charlotte Flair. No one wants to see Charlotte Flair win, and we're not doing this again, man. We did it with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 37. Let's not do it. And 36, and then SummerSlam in 2021, I think it was. Let's not. Tiffany Stratton, I don't think Rhea Ripley was as big then as Tiffany Stratton is now. I think it will be a mistake to put Charlotte Flair over Tiffany Stratton. She's huge. She's hot right now. The crowd love her. And she's a great performer. Let's not put Charlotte Flair over her. Charlotte Flair wins. That's going to be very disappointing. So I'm going to pick Tiffany Stratton. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther versus Jey Uso. I believe this match will kick off WrestleMania entirely. A lot of people are mad about this match, man. I know the fans that are there aren't going to be mad. The fans are going to love this. I'm going to love this. You know, the people that don't like this on the internet simply don't matter. The only thing I don't like, and I know this has been a thing for years, where they crap on about the winner of the Rumble, main events WrestleMania, and they always say that, but then it becomes pretty clear straight after that's not happening. They kept saying that Jey Uso was in the main event for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then eventually just dropped it. They had merch, WrestleMania main event Jey Uso, like, that's the only thing I'm a little bit annoyed about. I'm not saying this match should be in the main event. I don't think it has the star power and the hype and build to be in the main event. But you can't do all that. I get it. They always say the Rumble winner main events WrestleMania. I get it. Okay? Trust me, I've been watching wrestling for a long, long time. I know how this shit works. But they kept going on and on and on. And then it just suddenly was like, yeah, it's not main eventing. Very strange, but anyway, I think it will open the show. I think Jey Uso needs to win. I can't see Gunther winning. It's not how I expected this reign for Gunther to end, and this is why a year ago, when Gunther lost the title to Sami Zayn for no apparent reason, I said Gunther should not lose the Intercontinental title, he should relinquish it. But how can he relinquish the Intercontinental Championship when he's on a record reign? He has to lose it. My thought was, if he relinquishes the title, goes after the world title, wins the world title, whoever beats Gunther for the first time is World Heavyweight Champion. And I think the reign Gunther's had so far I don't think it's enough. Okay, it's weird because I don't think Gunther's winning this, but I also don't think he should lose it. I also don't think Jey Uso should lose it. But it's hard because Gunther, if he didn't lose the Intercontinental title and simply said, I've had enough, it's time for bigger things, Gunther can have a short world title reign. The fact that he lost the Intercontinental title, got beaten a year ago, I don't think he can win. I don't think he can lose here. I don't think Jey Uso can lose either. And, like, frankly, Jey Uso is going to win this match. But it's weird, man. It's very, very weird. But I think Jey Uso wins WrestleMania opener. The crowd is hot for it. You know, the crowd will be yeeting after that. I think, Jey Uso is going to get the dub. And everyone will be happy. Women's World Title, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. This is one I just do not, simply have no fucking clue what we're doing. The match will be great. The build has been okay, but we're booking Io Sky as this underdog into WrestleMania. And she's being ignored and all this shit. She's the fucking champion, man. What are we doing? I get it. Belair and Ripley wanted this one-on-one match, and they didn't get it because Ripley was distracted by Belair and lost the title. That's a whole nother thing, and I don't think that should have happened. You could have gotten to this triple threat match and still did the same story with Ripley as the champion still. But now it's just I'll be honest, I don't want to see Io Sky walk out as champion, but I feel like I'm supposed to want to see that. It's weird. It's very weird, and I think this would have been done a whole lot better if you just somehow weaseled Io Sky's way into this match, made it a triple threat, and she was the underdog that wins the title, instead of defending the title as the underdog and the ignored and the person they're all forgetting about. But I think Io Sky wins this one, unless there's a Bianca Belair heel turn possibility. I don't want to see Belair win again at WrestleMania, to be perfectly honest. But I'm going to say at this point, Io Sky walking out with the belt. Oh man, it is time for the main events, guys. Night 1 main event. I didn't like it at first, but I do now. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM fucking Punk, my childhood hero, triple threat match. At this point in time, at the time of filming, Paul Heyman is in CM Punk's corner. This is a tricky one. I'm going to straight up say it's not Roman Reigns. He ain't winning this. And if he does, what the fuck? But I think it's tricky because Punk hasn't been on WrestleMania in 12 years and he lost his last match against The Undertaker. Rollins lost his last 2 WrestleMania matches last year. I think it's that typical scenario of here's all these 3 massive stars, but one of them's not quite as big as the others. Let's have that one win. I think that's what we're going to get here, especially with the Paul Heyman shenanigans. I think, Seth's going to be the only one that's fully focused on the match. The other 2 are going to be worried about what Paul Heyman's doing. So I think it's going to be Seth. I think Seth Rollins is going to win this match. I think he will pin CM Punk. I think it's either Roman or Punk that takes the pin here. Seth absolutely doesn't take the pin. And if my prediction is correct and Seth Rollins wins, he will pin CM Punk. That's your night 1 main event. Let's get to the night 2 main event. The undisputed champion, Cody fucking Rhodes versus John Cena. Man, it feels like last year. There's so much that can happen here. I do think, despite what the rumors are saying and, all that, I think The Rock makes an appearance here. And that's when we find... I'm only cool with The Rock being there if Stone Cold's there. Otherwise, I don't want it. I don't care about The Rock, alright? I don't think we needed The Rock to help Cena turn heel. I don't think we needed The Rock for any of that shit. But if it gives us a Stone Cold glass breaking moment, then I'm all in for it, man. I think there's a possibility of Stone Cold coming out, stunning Rock and stunning Cody. I don't think you need to play too much into the fact of whether Stone Cold's a heel or a face. Stone Cold can turn heel and it doesn't matter. He's going to be gone for another year, 2, 3, or 4. So that's a possibility. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. Randy Orton could be a part in this. CM Punk could be a part in this. For all we know, Punk could be walking out with the fucking title. I'm not going to predict that, but it's certainly a possibility. So I think it's got to be Cena. Cena has all year to win the belt, and I think he's going to win the belt this year. Without a doubt, I can 100% say I'm certain on that. But is it now? Yes, I think it is. You don't turn Cena heel. This is the biggest heel turn in pro wrestling and have it result in a failure. You can't do that. Look, if Cena wins, we have so much potential for Cena Punk at SummerSlam or Money in the Bank. And just all these banger title defenses, Cena Styles. There's so much we can do. And with obviously Cena's got a big schedule this year, he can absolutely make the towns, make the shows that he needs to. So I don't know exactly how it's going to go down. I think Stone Cold may stun Cody Rhodes, but I think I'm going to say Cena is winning the belt here. But anyway, those are my predictions for WrestleMania. I'm probably in Las Vegas right now, so check it out. Check out the channel. There's going to be some videos being posted, and check out the community tab too. My Twitter, Instagram, all linked in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys all later.